Let me ask a couple of questions of you, Jason, since your time's kind of limited. Um, the first thing is, can you give us a background about your particular setting, Citizen in the Temple? Kind of give an elevator pitch of what it's all about?
Sure. Probably the briefest way to put it would be 1984 on a wasteland planet. Um, and it kind of evolved throughout some screenwriting I did in film school. I did a short film, a short sci-fi film, and I just really had a good time with a lot of the concepts, and it kind of evolved out of that. I wanted to do sort of a more futuristic, sort of steampunk Dark Sun. Actually, I have to admit, a lot of my uh, I played a lot of that growing up, and I really enjoyed it. And one thing that stuck with me about it was the just the amount of mystery involved, and so I kind of took that and took it into a slightly different setting, and just sort of have been working with it ever since.
Okay. And for people who aren't familiar with it, Dark Sun, done by Timothy Brown. Tim also has a setting in the core Kickstarter, the Dragon Lord setting, which is a spiritual successor, I guess, to Dark Sun. I got to get used to seeing these questions pop up on the right hand side. So, Jason, do you see the
Oh,
one?
yes, that would be Orwellian 1984. So we have sort of the totalitarian state. There's one city, that one major city left on this planet. The city doesn't really have a good sense of itself and of its own history. There's ruins out in the wasteland with technology that's higher than anything that they're used to using. So there's a lot of opportunity for exploration.
Okay. The second question I was going to ask you is, I know that you've been working on your chapter already for your setting chapter for the project. Um, what adaptations are you having to do to the core system, or additions are you having to do to the core system um, to make that work?
To adapt the world into this game.
Yeah.
It's actually been very, very useful for me because since the beginning of the idea of the film, it's been kind of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of process. And just because the film that I'm working on is my MFA thesis film, so I mean there is a schedule there that must be kept. So what this has allowed me to do is kind of take a step back and actually do a lot of good world building that I had not had the time or opportunity to do yet. So in terms of adapting it into the world, it's been fine. It's been no problem.
How did you get started writing or creating? You're one of the guys in this list of settings who's caused me the most trouble in terms of how to describe things. Because with most people, I can just say author, and that was a nice story to put up there. That hey, I had all these novels that were being connected in, and then you were one of two, I think, off the top of my head, who are doing video instead.
Yeah. Well, how did I get started creating? Um, I got to give a little bit of the credit to you, actually, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, we used to do gaming and whatnot, and that was a big influence on me. Um, and I turned into a giant, giant gamer, and a lot of those stories that I created over the years for my friends just kind of stuck with me, and the process just kind of stuck with me. So, be it writing fiction or writing a screenplay, it's all kind of coming from the same well. And for me, so yeah, I mean, I just started doing film about, I guess it's been about 10 years, but it's just something I enjoy doing music, I enjoy writing, and I enjoy collaborating, so it just kind of made sense.
Okay. You want to talk about your day job for a minute?
Sure. I'm a video producer at a medical university in the West Chicago suburbs. So it's kind of cool just because when it comes to doing the filmmaking video thing, I get to sort of play with the equipment and live in that video world for my day job too. So I think it just kind of helps keep me sharp.
So, well, maybe you can explain to people how we know each other.
Well, it goes back a long time. Your wife, my mother were friends, and I was the kid down the street, and I started getting into role-playing when I was very young, and then I discovered that you made these games that I was getting into. So, yeah, I mean, it's just my family knew your family, and one of my earliest, proudest moments was having just the end of my first name and my last name in the Dark Conspiracy book. It's in the tabloid section. You can read my name, and I got to point that out and feel cool. So, yeah, so it goes back a while. It goes back a long time.
Okay, cool. So, Jason, other questions? Favorite games?
Favorite games?
Yes.
Let's see. I mean, I still play Dark Conspiracy. Okay, I know it's been a while since that one came out, but it's still on my list. We have fun with it all the time. I like that. I guess I'm going back to the ones I enjoy. Again, I love the Dark Sun setting. I loved Cyberpunk. I guess those are the ones that stick with me.
Okay. Cyberpunk by R. Talsorian?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What are you playing nowadays?
Nowadays, honestly, mostly Dark Conspiracy still. I'm going to be hopefully playtesting this very soon. Got a lot of work to do on it just to, I feel like I need to get my head wrapped around the rule set a little bit more. And then, yeah, I'm just going to hit the ground running with it.
Okay. We're going to do Hangouts play sometime?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
That'd
cool.
be great.
And to keep you in the hot seat for a second, favorite books or movies?
Favorite books or movies? I'm a big John Carpenter guy. So I love They Live, In the Mouth of Madness, Prince of Darkness, The Thing. Like if I could just totally Babe Ruth, call my shot, and like pick my own career, if it looked anything like John Carpenter's, I could not complain at all.
Okay, so last question. Favorite band, favorite song?
Favorite band, favorite song. Probably my two favorite bands. I love Tool and I love Faith No More.
Okay.
So, if I had to pick a favorite song, it would probably have to be something off The Real Thing, that album by Faith No More. That's a tough one to pick, though, because there's a lot of good stuff on there.
War Pigs.
War Pigs is awesome. Yeah, I always said I don't really go to live concerts much anymore, but if Faith No More reunited anywhere within 3 states of me, I would drive there in any direction. That's my standing rule. So hopefully one day that'll happen. They'll need money, something will happen, and I'll get to do that.
Okay. Cool. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to say or like to pitch?
Well, let's see. Most of my time, other than writing for this game right now, goes into a show that I do called The Con Men. It's on YouTube, and pretty much what we do is we go to sci-fi and fan cons, and we just talk to people and we meet them, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So we highlight different vendors and just try to find interesting stories at conventions. We've done 6. I think the next one's going to be at Wizard World in Chicago. So yeah, that's what's keeping me busy.
Yeah, I've seen 1 or 2 of those, and I really liked the voice, the tone that you guys had as you were interviewing people. It's kind of funny stuff. So good
Good.
job.
The funnier the better, I guess. There's a lot of coverage that's not respectful of the people at those cons, and that's kind of what we're looking to change. You know, there's a lot of I don't know, videos where people are sort of saying, "Look at the nerds," you know, and we're trying to sort of show it from a different perspective from the inside. So far so good.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks very much, and of course, you're welcome to continue to hang out here if you like.